Shane Van Gisbergen sweeps the weekend at Chicago, the first driver to qualify on pole on both the Xfinity and the Cup and win those races. He is the first guy to do that since Kyle Busch at Indianapolis in 2016, I think it said. Nonetheless, tremendous feat nonetheless. But please, for the love of God, can we stop experimenting with these road courses on Independence Day weekend, 4th of July weekend? It is supposed to be all about true Americana racing. And it doesn't get any more Americana than at the high banks of Daytona. And I've seen, oh, Daytona doesn't want it. Bull. It is a classic American tradition of having NASCAR in Daytona, 4th of July weekend. And if Daytona leadership says we don't want it that weekend, they got to get voted out. They got to go. Because this whole Chicago Independence Day weekend, street course racing, no. Even Formula One fans are getting tired of the street courses. And this race, it was just... I mean, it was a snooze fest. And that after Hocevar created a traffic jam, went to a lull, and then picked back up late when he had Bowman and Bubba going at each other. And then you have the ending that should be talked about at length if NASCAR media wants to have any sort of credibility. We have to talk about this. Because what NASCAR did at the end of this race was far beyond unforgivable. It goes against everything that they are claiming about driver safety. It speaks to their lack of consistency. And it's absolutely unforgivable. So you have Shane. He is leading. It's essentially in the bag. He's got Ty Gibbs coming, but not nearly quick enough. But it's pretty much over. And you had Cody Ware flying into the tire barrier. Something broke in his car, which I'm going to show you the video here in a minute. And NASCAR waits over 30 seconds to throw the caution, just long enough for Shane to get a cross the start finish, and then they throw the caution. Now, they talk about driver safety all the time. We got to do it this way because of driver safety. We got to do it this way, that way, the other. What? Everything is under driver safety, and it's completely understandable. But then you go out and orchestrate something like this. This is the footage of Cody Ware going into the tire barrier.
Come out of right front, lock up. 17's right with you. By one.
You hear something break.
He's been locking up a lot of corners I see on the TV, so he probably just got a flat spot on the left front.
Over about 90 miles an hour, directly into a cement wall. These aren't the safer barrier walls that we see at typical NASCAR tracks. There is no foam give here. The tires, they don't do much to stop that. NASCAR And let me play the rest of the footage, because this is the part that is absolutely 110% unforgivable on the part of NASCAR.
And we're in the tires.
Wait for it.
Need help.
Need help. Need help. Right then and there. Caution out. Get people out there. Help him. Absolutely unforgivable on the part of NASCAR. Unforgivable. You have a driver going head on into a cement wall at 90 miles an hour, and you prioritize ending by the rules instead of throwing the caution, get the help out there, call the race, and then explain why you couldn't do a prototypical finish with green white checker, whether it be some sort of deal with Chicago, we wouldn't be able to get a restart in because there's lightning in the area. Whatever the case. Instead, they like, oh, we wanted to see if he could get out, or some stupid bull excuse that Elton Sawyer is trying to push. Don't lie to your fans. Don't sit there and BS them. Just simply say, hey, we're not going to be able to get the restart in. There's lightning in the area, so we're calling the race. That caution ended the race. That is all you have to do, and fans will be like, oh, okay, gotcha. On board with it. And they didn't do that. They decided to wait over 30 seconds after this happened. This is a different view from it. That is a 90 mile an hour, 3,000-pound machine barreling into a cement wall with a human being inside of it. And NASCAR did nothing. They did absolutely nothing for over 30 seconds. Again, this isn't foam hitting foam with a safer barrier. This is a car going headlong 90 miles an hour into a cement wall. And NASCAR did absolutely nothing. Nothing. Now, going back to Shane's win, he's a tremendous road course racer. He's one of the best of all time. But the way that the system is, the way that that all of this has transpired, the look of it, how this play went down, you have turned a guy that is supremely talented and should be appreciated, and is an underdog on top of that, and you have turned him into a villain to no fault of his own. NASCAR did this. NASCAR is the proponent of this. Shane did nothing other than his job. Trackhouse did nothing other than gaming the system. Here, y'all are a joke. Awful officiating the whole race. How do you not call the yellow when the car hit the barrier? It's a joke. SVG ruined road course racing, by the way. He's already been racing cars before Cup even were able to. Now, and now here from Forrest Robbins, he's the I'm not sure who this individual is, but he has something interesting. If you need further evidence of why the Chicago street race is a horrible idea, I don't like overtime or agree with it, which is for a different show, different time to debate and discuss. But the only reason they didn't throw the caution for Ware was due to the time agreement with the city. The agreement with the city has been a problem from the start. Remember Custer winning their Xfinity race that ran 25% of the distance? Go to a real racetrack, NASCAR. Now, if this is true, uh, and that's why they didn't throw the caution, I think I think Rick Ware is the father, the owner, and owner. Either way, Cody Ware, I think there's some sort of legitimate lawsuit here, and anybody who bet on anybody other than Shane Van Gisbergen, I think has a case for manipulating the outcome, because that's what NASCAR did here. They manipulated the outcome, lied. I believe it. I believe they said that they that I believe NASCAR said that they thought they could get out of it. He could back out of it, and that they didn't realize how hard he had hit. I'm looking to see if Elton Sawyer has actually posted something. Not that I'm aware of. Okay. So as of now, there has been no post. I haven't seen anything that indicates that they have that they have said anything. This is just from what I've heard, and from what I've heard, they thought that they believe that uh, they didn't realize how hard Cody Ware hit, which is a huge problem. You should have officials all over that track radioing and saying, "Hey, Cody Ware just clobbered the wall. Throw the caution now." And they didn't. And that's incompetence on the part of NASCAR. I mean, there are so many things wrong here that it is reckless, unfathomable, insane. I mean, you have somebody smacking the wall at 90 miles an hour, a cement wall at 90 miles an hour head on. And you don't throw the caution for 30 seconds. And your excuse is allegedly we didn't think he hit that hard. You're completely inept. You don't know what you're doing, and you need to get out of the sport. Elton Sawyer, Steve Phelps, Steve O'Donnell have no business being in NASCAR. They have shown time and time again they are completely inept at their jobs. The only person in the NASCAR administration, which I actually believe is trying to do what's best for NASCAR, is Ben Kennedy. He's the only one I think is actually trying to do right by NASCAR. And 3-on-1 is not a good fight. So I don't know what steps need to be taken to rectify this as far as NASCAR leadership, but something needs to change because it's getting pretty bad. And speaking of pretty freaking bad, we have the in-season challenge that most of the drivers didn't completely and totally forgot about. other than Ty Dillon, because that's the only thing that he has to. That's his only claim to fame at this current point in time. So you have Ty Dillon, who advanced because Keselowski had gotten into problems. Bowman and Bubba, they got into a kerfuffle on the track, and Bowman dumped him after Wallace bodied him. You have John Hunter and Eric Jones, Ryan Preece and Tyler Reddick, and then Ty Gibbs and Zane Smith. As we head to Sonoma next weekend. Sonoma. Fun track. This Sonoma will be a fun one, which I'll do a preview of that later this week. But as far as Chicago goes, which this appears to be it, I hope to God we never see anything like this again. This track, the street courses do not work. No. Never again. Stick to Watkins Glen, stick to Sonoma, stick with Coda. That is it. Nobody wants the Roval, and we're doing away with the Roval in 2026, I believe. I think that's what's going. I think that's what's going on. At least that's what I've heard. They're doing away with the Roval. Good, because Charlotte's become good enough to where we don't have to gimmick that track up anymore. So there's that. And then hopefully in 2026, if we can't get to Daytona, hopefully this race is in Atlanta and Homestead. Indy wouldn't be a bad idea. Michigan would actually be a really good place to have this. Like, let's go to a fun track. Let's have some fun. I mean, and that is if Daytona is not on the table. If Daytona's not on the table, the next call you make is Talladega. And if you can't work Talladega in there, then we try Atlanta. Maybe a Richmond. Something you can run Saturday night under the lights. Bring that true Americana feel. Because nothing is more American than under the lights, Saturday night racing. And college football. But they don't play football in July, so whatever. But nonetheless, hopefully NASCAR at least rights the ship for the 4th of July weekend in 2026 for the 250 years. Gosh, 250 years since our founding fathers told King George to shove it. So, yeah. I'll be interested. I'll be very interested. Hopefully, I can learn to talk, and then I could actually be good at this. But hopefully, in 2026, NASCAR gets this rectified. Hopefully, Sonoma gives a lot better show, which I think it will. I love Sonoma. And we'll get more into that in the coming days. And yeah, so I think that's everything. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any NASCAR, Formula One, college football, NFL. Those are coming around the corner. And if you're listening on podcast, make sure to leave a 5-star review, hit the follow and download so you don't miss any of that. And we'll be back tomorrow with something. Whether it be good or not, I don't know. But it'll be something. See ya.